Another day, another Manchester United surprise transfer rumour circulating in the Sunday papers. Not just the Sunday papers, but all over a few different accounts on social media as well. Why is Sean Longstaff a target for Manchester United? It's not an exciting transfer. It's not what Manchester United fans probably want to see in the morning papers or on the headlines through social media and in the news. But I'm going to explain why this is actually happening and why United are even looking at Sean Longstaff. And happening, I don't mean the deal actually is going through, but as in happening, as in why Manchester United are actually looking at him and he's a target for Manchester United this summer. Doesn't seem right, does it? It doesn't seem to click in the right areas, but we'll go through the pros and cons of that as well. More talk around Manchester United's injuries, and it's all good. It's very good. Luke Shaw's back on grass, Bayindir back on grass, but where is Andre Onana going? More rumours about his possible destination in the summer circulating this morning as well. Going to get into that and who Manchester United's shortlist of goalkeepers is now and who they're actually looking at to replace Andre Onana as well. And it does look like that is narrowing down to a few goalkeepers now. So we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to get through all of the other headlines. We're going to talk, really have a bit of a group chat with you all in the live chat about who Manchester United's best lineup going in for the rest of this season is actually going to be right now, because we've got some serious selection headaches coming up. Manchester United, it's great, isn't it? It's fantastic to actually be talking about Manchester United and having plenty of players to choose from going into the last few days of the season. All of that, and obviously anything that you want to ask, get into the live section and talk to me, everybody. We'll get into everything that's going on around the club from international break also as well. But I want to start this morning with the news going around. You would have seen it probably, Sean Longstaff, and I think I'll do a poll on this one to start us off. Actually, I mean, Sean Longstaff, for you, is he the right type of player to come into Manchester United? I think that's the simple question. Let me just type it in now. I think it's, and I'll explain why I actually think that this has come back around. Actually. If you can remember going back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I remember on the show when I was in the early stages of Forever United TV. It wasn't even Forever United TV back then, but I remember talking about this, and I don't think it really inspired many people back then. But this was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back at Manchester United. So we're going back, 4 or 5 years now, easy. To the early sort of 2020s. So I think it was around about the 1920 time. And United were reportedly looking at Sean Longstaff as a target. And this news just came out of nowhere. And we were all discussing it at the time. And I was trying to make the case for Longstaff then. And I feel like I'm still going to be struggling to make a case for him now with most of the Manchester United fan base. I don't believe that there's going to be many convinced by it. But let's just look at this right now. For instance, when you go into Sean Longstaff, his contract situation right now, let's just put him into the computer. Let's just see. What he's got left on his deal and what he's actually being paid, and then we can probably surmise as to how much Manchester United really are looking to go in for Longstaff for, and why we might actually be looking at him. Let's just see now. So Sean Longstaff, as it stands, is on. Oh, let's just see here. Let's get up the actual details of this contract. Sorry, everybody. My mouse is having one of them mornings again where it's not liking its job. Right, okay. Sean Longstaff, as it stands right now, obviously his contract has 1 year left to run. And that's, I think, one thing for Manchester United to be looking at. He's an experienced Premier League player. 1 year left to run. He isn't on much... money, to be honest. When you look at it, he's on right now. He's on. Whoa, it is quite low. It is quite low here. It's showing it in dollars on this page that I'm on here. But even at 2,600,000, so 2.6 million average salary, he's on round about. He's on close to 40 grand a week wages at Newcastle. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you? You can see why Longstaff actually would be a target for Manchester United. Look. In terms of balancing this out and saying why Manchester United might actually be interested in Longstaff, I would say, look at that. He's 27. It's not really the type of player that Manchester United go for age-wise and profile on that side of things. But he's on low wages. He's not going to cost a lot of money because Manchester United are going for him in the last year of his deal. And I don't know the circumstances around Sean Longstaff and what his current contractual situation is negotiation-wise for a new one at Newcastle right now. But if United are interested in Longstaff, it's because of this. It's because of him coming to the end of his deal, being an experienced player, and someone that Manchester United could probably rely on to be available for them throughout the season. And the big thing in this as well is when you look at Longstaff, look where he is right now. He's at Newcastle, who are winning trophies. Can't believe I'm saying that, but they are. They've won the League Cup. They're challenging for the Champions League. Newcastle are moving forward where United are languishing right now. So when you look at where we are in the table, the only thing that's making you look at this and say, Sean Longstaff is not a Manchester United player. We shouldn't even be going anywhere near this. This isn't inspiring me whatsoever. The only reason you're saying them things is because you're still holding on to the fact that Manchester United was once a great club. Look, I'm with you. I don't think this inspires anybody at all. I don't think going forward Sean Longstaff is going to make the difference. But think about the timescale of it. If you're buying Sean Longstaff in cheap, he's got 3 years until he's, 30? Maybe he signs a 3 with 4-year extension contract, taking him into his early 30s at Manchester United on really cheap wages, brought in for peanuts, which is why United will be looking at it. And he's Premier League proven, as in experience, good injury record, not too bad player. And he can be in and around Manchester United filling gaps going through the season. I'm just thinking along them lines right now. And by the time his contract ends, you're not expecting to earn much off him. And Manchester United should be in a different place. All I'm saying is, where United are right now, is Sean Longstaff from a team that's challenging for the Champions League actually better than what we've got? And that's going to take a conversation and a debate amongst yourselves, I'm sure. I'm sure you're arguing with yourself right now. Is he better than what we've got in our midfield right now? Well, we are 14th, 15th, 13th actually right now, in the league table, and Newcastle are challenging for the Champions League. They're in a better place. Is it down to individual players that Newcastle are in that better spot? Maybe it is just because all of them players are on board with their manager. Maybe he is that type of professional player that Manchester United want to bring into the football club. Look, I think he's a make weight in terms of someone to just pop into the team every now and then and do a job for Manchester United, a squad player. He doesn't start ahead of anyone in my midfield at Manchester United right now. Let's just get that clear. I'm trying to figure out a reason why Manchester United would be going back in for Sean Longstaff. And it's there on the screen right now. He's got 1 more year left to run. His wages are dirt cheap. He's Premier League proven. And he would come in and do a job for Manchester United where necessary, and where you look at him as a replacement for Casemiro. You're not going to get much money for Casemiro. And do we need another body in? Yes. Do we need an experienced body in? Probably yes. A 27-year-old Longstaff instead of Casemiro right now would probably fit Manchester United's model and where we're looking. And that, I think, is what this signing is. It's not like he is going to come in and change everything at Manchester United and take us to the Champions League. It's going to help us move up that table because he's a good professional and he would come in cheap for Manchester United instead of having someone like a Casemiro on the sidelines. I think you would have the energy and that sort of robust, energetic type of midfielder that Ruben Amorim likes. He fits the profile of player for Amorim. He's probably 4th on his choice of list of players for a certain area. But right now, this transfer probably is to fill a squad place more than to actually have a massive impact immediately at Manchester United. I think he's a good professional. He's an all-right player. He probably is better in the position where we are right now with Casemiro for us going forward and Ruben Amorim. He gives us more legs. He's good in the air. He's strong. He's an all-rounder, isn't he? He's nothing that's really going to... He's not really going to excite fans. He's not really going to get you off the edge of your seat. He's just one of them, isn't it? It's just like, fill the gap, squad player, in you come, and it's a bit of experience for Manchester United with all of the younger players around. Maybe we should be buying cheaper, more experienced players to come into Manchester United at this stage to balance out the young prospects that we're looking at that we spoke about yesterday. Is this the way that Manchester United are looking at it? 1 or 2 cheaper experienced players to help out in amongst all of this young talent coming through Manchester United? Because let's not forget, Longstaff has been there and done it. He came through Newcastle's academy into their first team and actually starred for them at different occasions. He's got that experience of coming through the ranks. He's got the experience of Premier League football. And I can see why, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that United need to be going blowing budgets on him, but it says it there. When you're on around about 30, 40 grand a week wages with 1 year left on your contract with that amount of experience, that's what we're calling, and please don't misquote me on this here because this is the bit that will probably go out everywhere else, but it's clever recruitment for Manchester United to have a player like that in and amongst it if you can get him at the right price. Now, it all depends on the price, and if United look at this situation and go, there's no other contract on the table right now for Longstaff, you could look at this and say, well, that's the right type of signing for Manchester United to be making. In fact, I'm just looking at this contract here right now. It actually is. Is he actually a free agent? I'm looking at it again here. I might have misread this here right now. His current contract runs out in 2025, and he will be a free agent. So actually, this will be a free contract, a free transfer for Manchester United. I've completely misread that. I've looked at his age of 26 right now and assumed that that's the year he's finishing. I've actually misread the page. I do apologise, everybody. Would you take Sean Longstaff for free? That's a new question that we're putting out into there right now. Obviously, he's not that, I've said it there then, he's not the type of player that United really are aiming to be the future of this football club. But he is a bit of experience in and amongst all of the new, young, fresh blood that's coming into Manchester United that we are really recruiting and hoping is the future, you could say. So, realistically, when you're looking at it, let's get into the comment section on this and see where you're all at with Longstaff and what you think might be a good transfer. Not. Let's just get into it. I've got no idea where this is going to go, but the right players. What is the right player? We've let go players that aren't good enough, yet are ripping up trees wherever they've gone. What's the right type of player? Jonathan says, I hope it's just the media looking at players on last year of their contracts and low wages. I hope my club is not selecting on that criteria alone. I mean, a player to come in who's going to be on 40 odd grand a week on a quick fire deal for nothing, I actually don't mind that side of it. If United can get Longstaff for free and he's only going to be on 40 grand a week wages, I don't mind having a squad player like that. He's not in my first team. He doesn't get anywhere near it right now when everyone's fit. I understand that, but if you want some legs later on in the game and you want a player to come on and do a job for that price, I can see why. I can see why. I can also see why everybody's not getting excited about it, but let's be real about this here. It's recruitment within a new era of Ruben Amorim, who needs to have replacements, who needs to have something to fall back on, and he needs reliability to fall back on as well. Experienced Premier League players for nothing are hard to come by, and that can be gold on its own for managers. Is this for real? Surely Adam is winding us up. I don't believe this. Look, the story's going around today, and I'm just reporting it. That's all. That's all it is. There's nothing definite in it. I'm just saying, would you? And the reports there, you can see why I feel that this is somebody we're talking about right now. Longstaff was that story back way when United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager, and we were all laughing it off then, and we were trying to figure out ways as to bigging up this deal to a point where it was the right type of transfer for United. But no. Again, I'll keep saying it. I understand why United might be looking at Longstaff, but he still isn't the right player for Manchester United to take us to that next level. Let's just get that right, and that, I think, is where we need to look at it probably. Am I drunk? Longstaff, we keep going lower and lower. Last week was the lap. What the F is going on? We are Man United. No, we're not, Nico. That's what I keep saying. We're not. We're United in name, but not in team. We are a bottom half of the table club right now. Financially, you could say we bring in a lot of money, but we're losing money left, right and centre. Until we organise ourselves and regroup and get control of all of our finances, we are not Manchester United. We cannot keep saying we are United. We can't be buying players like this. Look where we are in the league. Is it not the biggest reality slap ever in the face for everyone to see United down in 13th, challenging alongside the likes of West Ham, Everton, Palace and Brentford? That's where United are. Newcastle are miles ahead of us right now. And United are just about turning the corner form-wise, and we can compete. But look, the season's over in the Premier League. And I think what we're looking at here is options right now, more than actual players that are going to actually fix major issues in Manchester United. Nobody right now is expecting players like Longstaff to come in and change anything for United. All we're saying is, look, Longstaff could just be an example of players like him that could be coming to Manchester United. The free market is something that United need to be tapping into because of their financial situation. And you know what? If you're losing Casemiro and bringing Longstaff in, that actually makes Manchester United money and saves us a shed load of money on wages. You can see where I'm going with it, can't you? You understand, he's just a experienced squad player. It's actually going to earn Manchester United money next season if we're swapping him with Casemiro and we sell Casemiro and we make, what, maybe 5 or 6 million on his PSR value right now with him into his last year. This is how the finances are going to be worked out. And again, he's not the answer and he's not in my team. I'm just trying to explain why this transfer is actually doing the rounds this morning and people are talking about it. And it just seems like I'm winding everyone up in the chat right now. Look, don't get too concerned about it, is all I'm saying. I personally feel like Newcastle will throw another contract at Longstaff. He's come through their academy and he is a player. He's like a boyhood Newcastle fan, isn't he? And player that's come through. So, and you know what they're like with their own up there. They will probably offer him a new deal and he will end up staying at Newcastle. Ultimately, that's probably what we're looking at realism-wise. But this is the type of transfer that I think you could probably expect United to be looking at. I think this is the biggest point in this. It's sort of setting our stall out and getting us ready for a different type of transfer window. And when I talk about I'm looking forward to seeing what United will do if we're not in Europe, how they attack the transfer window, this is the sort of thing that I'm looking at. And I'm not saying that Longstaff gets me excited, but I want to see what this recruitment team can do in terms of dealing with the transfer window, finding players that we haven't got enough money to buy and finding alternatives. That's basically what I'm saying in all of this. And I think this is the perfect example of it. Super chat in from Block, who says, Longstaff is a big no for me, Adam, on commission. Look, he's a big no for a lot of people. But like we've said it before, look what James Milner did and where he went as a journeyman. I'm not saying this is a James Milner signing, but I'm just looking at this and going, we lack a lot of professionalism in our Manchester United squad right now. We know it. We've got a lot of young players coming through. And if there's somebody there that is experienced, been there and done it, Premier League experience, then it will help these younger lads come through. For free, for nothing, who can do a job on the pitch on really cheap wages, who's going to be really beneficial to a lot of the other players coming through who could be stars at Manchester United, I can see why. That's all I'm saying. And just that's all I wanted you to hear me out on. Please don't attack me. Please don't say this. Look, everybody's got their opinions on it, and it's fair. Look, I know, is all I'm saying. Atro says, morning Adam, I see what you mean with Longstaff, but Longstaff is not currently a starter or a significant player for Newcastle today. Yes, United are not the same, but I think it is not worth doing. Look, I get it, I do. Let's go spend 30-40 million on a player that might not make it then, and we can all moan about overpaying for a player. We cannot moan about one thing and criticise Manchester United overspending on players and then automatically shut down something that could be free and beneficial to other players and the development of a new team under Ruben Amorim. That's my only point I wanted to make. If he's a free agent on dirt cheap wages with that experience, who is probably better than Casemiro right now for us in terms of what he's being used for, it just makes a little bit of sense. That's all I'm saying with it. And I know I'm going to be coming back and forth with people in the chat on this one for quite a bit. But look, that's all I wanted to say on it. And I'll get all of your comments in on this now and see where you're at. Please do give the video a like. It is something a bit different this morning, I know, isn't it? But 77% of you have said no to Longstaff in the poll, by the way, which is kind of what I expected. He's not really that excitable signing. I get it. But 23% of you think this might actually be all right. I would like to see some of them comments in the comment section. Philip Longshaw says Longstaff is an ideal squad player. His experience will be a big help for the youth. On a free is a yes for me. Look, we got someone who says yes. 40 grand per week. I'd rather take 52 backroom staff on 40 grand a week per year. 40 grand a year. Not really if they're not doing anything for us, Block. Nah, I wouldn't take anyone back, to be honest. I don't think that's even a relevant argument right now, mate, to be honest, in that one. But look, I think we're just looking at the Longstaff name and going, nah, come on. It can't be real. Surely not. I'm not on my own, mate. Seriously. Stop picking me out. I'm the one who's breaking the news to you and actually telling you what's being discussed and making a reason why. I'm just finding a defence for it. It's what you need to remember is what I've said also. Look, he's not in my starting lineup and he's not a player for Manchester United right now. That's all I'm saying. Adam, can we have the names of the 23% that said yes? I don't know if they're brave enough, Jonathan, to come into the chat and say that. Let's just see what we've got here. A few more coming in. Right, okay, I think that's pretty much all we need to say on Sean Longstaff before we upset anybody else. It's good to have a bit of a laugh about things as well in the chat. I like the banter, everyone. Keep it coming. It's a Sunday morning and we're calm because there's no United game. There's no nerves going around. We're creating our own drama right now. We're talking about Sean Longstaff coming into Manchester United. I feel like, do you know what? If it's not a Longstaff, it could be someone else like that. I think that's how we're going to finish with the Longstaff story, to be honest. But, hey, moving on. Manchester United. Good news, Reds. Very good news. I was talking about it yesterday a little bit. I didn't go into too much detail on it. But Altay Bayındır is on grass. He is on the mend. His strength and recovery work has gone in. All completed now. He's in a much better position physically and mentally, according to the reports as well. But Bayındır is back on grass. More importantly as well, as you can see at the bottom of your screen in that latest tweet coming out from Manchester United, Luke Shaw. Now let's have an even bigger laugh, shall we? I've gone from Longstaff to Luke Shaw. I am public enemy number one with my audience this morning. But no, Luke Shaw is on grass. He's training. And look, it's good news. It is good news. You can talk about Luke Shaw. You can talk about what he is as a player and his availability through the years for Manchester United. But it is good news to see Lukey boy back on grass and as an option for Manchester United going in. Man, we are running out of players actually on this injury list right now. So, as it stands, we've got Mason Mount on grass training, fit and available for the game against Nottingham Forest. Altay Bayındır, fit, on grass, training again, may be available for the Forest game. Lenny Yoro available, Harry Maguire available for the Forest game. Wow, look at this. And Luke Shaw is back training again. He won't be available for Forest. Maybe you could say, I don't know, Leon games, Manchester City game, possibly even Newcastle for Luke Shaw. Look, to have Luke Shaw fit and available in April, I think that's what we look at. But look at that injury list all of a sudden. It's starting to diminish. There's actually now, by the way, Kobbie Mainoo also very, very, very close to return and could actually feature against Forest as well. It's now starting to look like we have got serious options going forward right now. But the biggest one in all of that, like Luke Shaw is massive in terms of the story and everything going on. It's not really going to affect Manchester United's season, I don't think, Luke Shaw. So I want to move to Bayındır, and I want to talk about Andre Onana. And there is a story going around in the tabloids this morning as well that Manchester United are looking to definitely replace Andre Onana in goal. How many goalkeepers have we spoken about on this show? How many times has that been a topic on our videos and live shows throughout this season, the back end anyway, even in 2025? I mean, Chevalier from Lille was talking about him the other day as well. We're talking about players coming back like Vitek for Manchester United. We're talking about James Trafford, another target. But it looks like, you know what, on both Manchester clubs, the report is saying this morning, looking to move their goalkeepers on to the Saudi Pro League. And there is an option for Manchester United for Onana to leave to the Saudi Pro League. That's the story that's doing the rounds this morning in the tabloids anyway. And speaking of the tabloids, the paper round is back straight after this show. We're going to be talking a few other things, Premier League and international duty with certain players. Come across to Football Talks. We're going right across to that live show after this live here on FUTV as well, around about 8:45 this morning. So do come and join us over there for an extra bit of content for yourselves. And make sure you have subscribed to Football Talks as well, everyone. Thank you. But yeah, in the story within Onana moving to the Saudi Pro League is all on that push that we've been talking about for weeks now, that United are lining up several goalkeepers. And I don't want to bring him Longstaff back to this, but if United are saving money elsewhere to get the right players in departments that really do have an impact on this first team squad, and by that I mean, for instance, Casemiro's going. We're not going to make a lot of money. And he is a squad player that has been useful, especially over the last few weeks. If you bring Longstaff in and replace him, replace Casemiro with Longstaff, that saves you money, and you can go and spend that elsewhere. You could go and get the right goalkeeper, whether it be Chevrolet, whether it be Trafford, whether it be Vitek coming back, maybe Bayindir who's going to stake a claim. But I've said this before. Look at Bayindir's situation, look at Andre Onana's situation. If United do actually, and this comes down to the recruitment side of things again, if United have got their wits about them and they're looking at situations right now, Andre Onana to the Saudi Pro League is where you probably get your money. Look, he's not on absolute Brewster wages at Manchester United, Andre Onana. In fact, let's do this. Let's check out Andre Onana's contract at Manchester United. And let's bring this in. Okay. All right, let's have a look. So, Andre Onana, right now at Manchester United. God, this is ridiculous. It really is. He's actually, so this new website that I found actually gives you some extra details and bonuses as well in what these players are actually being paid right now. So the Andre Onana situation, so his contract expires in June 2028. His current base salary per week is 120 grand a week for Andre Onana. It actually is more than what I thought. I must have been getting him mixed up with another player. But look, it's not out there. Look, the Saudis can afford that and some. That's easy. Andre Onana can be earning an extra 100 grand a week in wages in the Saudi Pro League. He's got bonuses of 80 grand. I don't know when he's ever going to earn them bonuses, to be honest. So I'm pretty safe in saying that Andre Onana isn't earning up to 200 grand a week in wages, including bonuses, because let's be fair, what has he done to earn them bleeding bonuses? So he signed that 4-year deal, 1 year in, second year of it right now, yeah, 2023 on that there. Right, okay, so at 28-year-old, if Manchester United can sell Andre Onana to the Saudi Pro League, we have got, I think, a good chance there of making money back on that deal and clearing PSR, for instance. When you then look at Bayindir, and I mentioned Bayindir the other day in this, Manchester United paid peanuts for Bayindir. I think it was about 3-point-something million or something like that for Bayindir. It wasn't a lot of money. Now, you tell me, is Bayindir, going off what we've seen this season, a 10 to 15 million pound goalkeeper? I think he actually is. He's on absolute... Again, I tell you what, let's have a quick look at what Bayindir is on money-wise right now. And then I think we can balance this out properly in terms of how much United could actually sell these players for. So Bayindir is on 35 grand a week basic wages. He's a better goalkeeper than Andre Onana, and Andre Onana is on 3 times as much money than him. It's embarrassing. It really is. He's signed a contract until 2027, so he's going to have 2 years left on his deal at the end of this season, Bayindir. If United sold him for 10 to 15 million, we're looking to make around about a 10 million pound profit on Bayindir there. That's actually not bad business for United. And you could think, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you sell Onana, if you sell Bayindir, we're actually looking, if we sell Onana to the Saudi Pro League this is, and this is just me putting things together, by the way, nothing is definite on this at all. But for instance, you sell both of them players, you earn maybe, what, in terms of PSR profits, approximately 20 million out of both goalkeepers. You could go out and buy another goalkeeper with that money. Or You could bring Vitek back in as a number one, who is playing excellent right now over in Austria. And then you've got the likes of Eli Harrison and me to come in and back him up from Manchester United's academy. You've got there, realistically, 20 million then to go and spend elsewhere in the transfer market on players that we really need in key positions. And this is when I talk about it, and Bayindir being back is massive for United, because I think he's going to feature, and I think his value is only going to go up. I think he's hit a sort of confidence booster from the Arsenal game, and clubs will be looking at that and looking at Bayindir, looking at how old he is, just 26. He's an international goalkeeper. I personally feel like I'm stuck between at the moment, because I want to give Bayindir a chance. I want to see him in the Manchester United side. I think he could be Manchester United's goalkeeper. Like, I haven't got a problem with Bayindir being in between the sticks going into next season just to see how he does for a full season. I really haven't. You could maybe bring Vitek in behind him and not sell Bayindir. But I just feel like United, when we bought Bayindir in, which was the same season as Andre Onana, I think that pretty much tells you this wasn't a player that Ineos and their structure brought into United. Maybe they'll look to cash in on the situation that's created, because Bayindir is profit for United. We will sell him for decent money, I think, and I think they will try and be a little bit savvy and clever with what they do in the market with Bayindir. So I would like Bayindir. I'm going to come to the comment section right now. What we've got, and with what we've got in terms of goalkeepers, without bringing another one in, what is your perfect scenario? That's how I look at it. I would gladly keep Bayindir. I think we paid the right money for him, and he could turn out to be a good goalkeeper. I mean, his performance against Arsenal at the highest level there in the FA Cup with the pressure that was on, 10 men United, 2 penalty saves in that game, how commanding he was. The save that he made from Odegaard as well at the latter stages, it was absolutely outstanding. I think he's better. He releases the ball quicker. I think overall he's a better goalkeeper than Andre Onana. And we're paying him 3 times the money per week to be that goalkeeper that is the Mr. Inconsistent at Manchester United. I think it's a no-brainer. If you can sell Onana to the Saudi Pro League and make a little bit of money from him in terms of his PSR, like I said, then you go for it. I would keep him. I would bring back Vitek. There's your 2 goalkeepers. I don't think it's difficult. I really don't. I don't know if it's just me looking at this and going, is it that simple? Or am I missing something? Are you not convinced by Bayindir? Are you not convinced by Vitek? Let's get into the comment section on this now and see what you're all saying around this. Let's see. We haven't seen Bayindir really. He barely played. We had Kovar earning 7.5 grand per week, but we sold him and brought in Onana. True. Onana alone got us knocked out of the Champions League. I would replace him with either a cheap alternative, Sene Lammers or Lucas Chevalier. Yep, 2 goalkeepers that we've spoken about as well. They're doing the rounds in this same report, actually. Lammers and Chevalier are 2 keepers United are looking at competing alongside Manchester City for them goalkeepers, because it looks like Edison is also going to be on his way out from City to the Saudi Pro League, according to the same reports on this as well. So, yeah, let's get a few more comments on what we're saying. I can't imagine that we are here saying Bayindir is better than Onana, and it's not long that we were saying Bayindir is not good enough. No, Bayindir is better than Onana. I'll say it now, just to clear that up for everybody. Onana is a liability, and he will let us down again in the future. Bayindir has not been given a chance, and that's the only fact in this right now. We don't know. Bayindir might not be the goalkeeper, but we've only, what's he on? Barely anything wage-wise. It's not cost us anything. Why not give him a chance and just see? I'm not just saying give him a chance because we haven't paid a lot for him and he's going to save us a bit of money. I'm saying, I think, from what he's done so far and the games that he's played, I don't think he's been that bad at all. And I think he should be getting more games in between the sticks. I think he is a very, very capable goalkeeper who looked really confident, and unfortunately he's just not been available and the injury has really set him back. So that's the only reason I'm bringing Bayindir in, because it's a goalkeeper I think that is good enough for us right now and is an improvement on what we've got. I think Vitek's an improvement on what we've got, and we don't need to spend a penny this summer on a new goalkeeper. I think the money needs to be spent elsewhere. That is where we're at with it, I think. Onana isn't leaving. I will be shocked if Casemiro left. Also, living in Saudi isn't something most folk would want to enjoy, especially their wives. Well, we don't know where they're at. But Manchester United will look to probably move out them players at the end of the season. There is a chance, you're right, that they could stay. We just don't know. We just don't know. What about Aaron Ramsdale when Southampton go down? I don't know. I think he's better than Onana as well, to be honest. I would prefer him ahead of Onana. But what I'm saying here is we don't need to necessarily go out and buy a keeper. Look, you've got the likes of Chevrolet there. You've got Trafford there. You've got Lamens there as well. You've got all of these players that could come in and do a better job than Andre Onana. But I'm thinking that Vitek and Bayndare can do a job better than Onana. No panic. If Onana stays and he becomes second to Bayndare or Vitek next season, still no issue. Still no issue at all there. I just don't want Onana in the goal. I want someone else to be given a chance. But obviously on the wages that he's on, he's not going to be a player that Ineos will allow just to sit there in the wings doing nothing. I think there will be an effort to move Andre Onana on if the right bids come in. If they find or get wind of anybody that's interested in taking Andre Onana, I think United will move him on. I just don't know if anybody out there wants Andre Onana right now. That's the thing. And if the Saudi Pro League do want to take Onana and he's happy moving there, then I could see Manchester United cashing in on that one. I think there's more chance of Edison possibly leaving there, though, at the stage he is in his career as well, having won everything already. So that might be something that happens ahead. And again, Manchester United looking at missing out on moving a player on. Like we thought Rashford was heading out to Italy. Kyle Walker ended up going there. We thought Onana could be going out to Saudi. Then Edison ends up moving out there. That's the way it works with United when it comes to it, because the players, I think, are in better positions to leave Manchester City than they are Manchester United. I mean, why would you want to leave when you are number one at the moment and you're earning the money that you're on? I get it. And there is a good chance that Onana won't leave Manchester United in the summer. But still, it all depends on what Ruben Amorim wants, doesn't it? And there are big changes coming this summer. I think it is going to be an absolute eye-opener this summer for everybody. And I think we will get some surprises. And transfers that you didn't see happening, I think, will happen. Please get a video like, everybody. We're creeping up to that 150 mark. Let's see if we can get 200 live likes. Let's do one big push at the end of the show. And let's see if we can get up there, please, everyone. Thank you for all your comments on the previous content that's been out over the weekend as well. And let's keep them likes coming in, everyone. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. And over on Football Talks, we're jumping over there in a moment as well to carry on the paper round show. So it would be nice to see plenty of you over there as well. John O'Tech says Vitek running at a 7.3% higher save percentage now. That's a massive difference in basic goalkeeping. Vitek is a no-brainer for me. He's only on loan. And he's an absolute beast. He's performed for United on pre-season. I think he should be coming back. Maybe Vitek comes back and Bayndare leaves and United cash in on Bayndare. That could be the thinking. But I think even with Amorim already, he has shown that he will play Bayndare in certain games. If Vitek comes in, I think he will dislodge Onana outright. No problem at all. And maybe Onana leaves the season after because he's surplus. Look, there's different options and they're all positive for Manchester United when it comes to the goalkeeping situation in the summer. And it will be better than what we've been dealing with this season. I think that's what we've got to say in all of it. But still, when you look at Onana, you look at the keepers behind him, I believe they haven't been given a chance. And I still think that they are all better than Andre Onana. Let's see what we've got in the chat. Ramsdale openly said in an interview he can't concentrate for a full 90 minutes. I didn't see that in the interview, to be honest. Tomo says, I like Vitek. I'd take him for sure. Let's buy the Leicester City keeper as he impressed me. Yeah, I think there are plenty of options. I do believe that nearly everybody's got a better goalkeeper than Man United. I think the teams in the relegation zone right now have got better goalkeepers than Manchester United. I'm traumatised by the Longstaff news. Going back to bed to sleep it off. Don't be worried about it too much, mates. Don't be. If you're wondering what we're talking about there and you have just joined the show as well, the opening of the show was about the transfer or Manchester United possibly looking at bringing in Sean Longstaff this summer. It looks like he's going to be a free agent, and that's why United are looking. Experienced Premier League player, cheap wages, and free. A free transfer. That does sound like a bit of a bargain basement sort of buy, doesn't it, for Manchester United? But look, I think the transfer window, I've said this many times, just on this show alone, is going to open up a whole can of worms and different scenarios. We just need to be ready to go. And I think that is what is happening right now. But yeah, past that, that pretty much sums up all of your news this morning, everybody. I'm going to be over on Football Talks in just a moment's time, covering all of the paper stories going around, interesting stories on Rashford, on Grealish, the England setup, what's going on there. 12 players leaving Liverpool, all of that news over on Football Talks on the paper round, going into that in just a few moments' time. One thing left to say, thank you again, all mods and members, for helping out in the chat. Everybody, for all of your messages and comments, get them in the comment section below on Longstaff, please, everybody. Let me know what you think of this deal, whether you think it's something that we should do, and the goalkeeping situation. Comment on that as well. Please give the video a like on the way out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. We're on the road. We're nearly there. We're not far away. Less than 200 away from 75k. 3/4 of the way there to that magical 100k mark. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you over on Football.